Some freight between the North and South Islands will be delayed after a shunt locomotive and railway wagon fell into Picton Harbour. An investigation has been launched into what happened, and as Kaylee Callahan reports, recovering the machinery will require some heavy lifting.
Divers jumping into Picton Harbour in search of a shunt locomotive on the sea floor. A diesel boom pulled into place as fuel slowly leaks from below, and contractors work out how to recover the remote-controlled engine.
We're still trying to figure out exactly what happened there. But look, there's three elements that we're looking at. Is it mechanical, is it the connection with the locomotive, or is it human-based?
Security camera footage shows the moment it plunges off the wharf. The locomotive dragging a wagon with two empty containers into the drink, damaging the link span, the ramp used to move vehicles onto a ship. The wagon stayed afloat while the 50-tonne machine sank 10 metres below the surface.
We won't be able to just crane it directly out of the water. So it's a process we'll work through with the diving crews, maybe about looking at whether we float it with bags, get it to a location where we can safely lift it.
Cranes from Wellington and Christchurch are on their way to help. Until then, the Inter ferry is stuck in Wellington, unable to use the damaged berth in Picton.
Between Bluebridge and ourselves, we're trying to provide as much capacity as we can. It's probably going to have a slight backlog of freight through to the weekend.
Kiwi Rail hoping that freight will be back on track as soon as the locomotive's recovered. Kaylee Callahan, News Hub.
We're still investigating what happened. There's three elements that we're really focusing on to understand whether it was mechanical, whether it was an interaction, or whether it was human-based. That investigation will be ongoing for a few days yet, and so at this point we've got no firm details of what was the cause of this incident. Locomotives are remote controlled, and that's a process we've had in place since about 1994, and those locomotives are only work in our yards where we build and break up trains, not out on the main line, and that enables the operator to be close to where the locomotive is, and enables them to ensure they're connecting and disconnecting safely. And that was what was occurring here. Currently we've had a diver down this morning looking at what's happening underwater, and we've got to work through a process this afternoon about the recovery of the wagon and the recovery of the locomotive. We understand it's probably about 8 metres underwater, and where it's positioned at the moment it's likely to be too far for us to reach directly with a crane, so we're going to have to go and try and move that locomotive. We'll probably try and float it with airbags, get it to a location on the port where we can reach it with a crane and recover it. We have what we call a link span, which is the connection between the shore and the ship when it comes in. And obviously as part of the process of when the locomotive went across the link span, it actually has damaged it to a point. We don't know the extent of that damage at the moment, but the two crews are going to be working on that link span and ensuring it gets back into operation so we can get the ferries to work again.